Okay, okay. What's the difference between a rabbi and a priest?
What's the difference?
A rabbi cuts them off, a priest sucks them off.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Racing Home Podcast. You're joined by your two hosts, Nick Ageter and Fez Bobber.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Pretty good. That joke, it took me a while to get it out. I don't know why, but like
It
I've
was
read it
pretty
multiple
solid.
times, So
It was pretty good. You got it out.
thank you. Um, don't suck off kids. Anyways,
No, don't do that. No,
no,
definitely.
no, um,
Man, now I gotta make this podcast explicit.
now you gotta make it explicit. Out of all the things we talked about, um, okay,
I think you can make a separate episode explicit, not like the entire thing. Not the entire channel, or not the channel, but like the
yeah,
podcast artist, host, us.
the episode. You talking about the episode or the
I
whole?
I can make the episode itself explicit or not explicit. So
Okay,
it doesn't apply to all the episodes we've done.
gotcha.
I doubt we ever will make a clean episode. I've had to
Um,
mark explicit for every single one.
yeah, if I keep making these jokes, I don't know about that one.
Keep the jokes coming, man. Keep them rolling. They're pretty
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
Okay.
how's your weekend, dude? How's your week in general? I haven't talked to you in a minute.
Week in general has been pretty solid. So this past weekend, what did I do? Oh, I was in Dallas, but did not actually see you. So
Oh,
went
that's
up to
right.
Dallas. Yeah, for the weekend, went up to Dallas and actually celebrated my mom's birthday. So she's gonna hate me for saying this, but she turned 60 next year. I almost said she turned 59, and
Okay,
so yeah, had a birthday. Had about 20 or 30 people over at the house. Probably 20, yeah, 20 at the high end.
would I
And
know any of them?
no, they were all like her friends. No one that I knew.
Okay.
Like I knew Carol and like some of the family friends, but she had a lot of friends from work as well. So like
Mhm.
half were family friends, half were work friends. And yeah, we just partied Colombian styled and we're dancing in the living room. Had lots of cake, lots of food, lots of wine. Over in Colombia they have this special drink called aguardiente.
Mhm.
I think it's firm. I think it's made from sugar cane. Is it sugar cane? I'm gonna say it's sugar cane. But effectively what it tastes like black licorice. So imagine a black licorice vodka is basically what it tastes like.
Gotcha.
So if you're a fan of licorice, you may love it. I'm not, so it's kind of a difficult thing for me to swallow, but it's about 29%. So not too crazy strong, but also not like the easiest thing to swallow. Um and then came back home. That's basically my weekend. So just chores around the house and partying it up on Saturday and then recovering on Sunday.
Yeah, some things are
Literally.
definitely hard to swallow. I'll tell you that much.
Not
Um,
children.
what?
I might have to cut that one out.
That's not what I was talking about. But close, I guess. Depends on if you're in Epstein's Island or not. Um,
Jeez. All
there,
right. What do you do this weekend? You're getting ready for your race, or not your race, but you have an event coming up this weekend, right?
yeah. First, I wish I could come to your mom's party as well. I know you invited me over, but I was just really busy with stuff going on. So yeah, I have um the event at East Eagles Canyon coming up this Saturday with Apex HPTE. It's going to be a lot of just friends together going to HPTE. It's where I've even pitched the idea of, getting be on a call with each other while wearing headphones or something,
Oh, that
and
would be pretty cool.
it would just like shit talking to each other while driving on track. I wonder how good could that go. Um, the funniest thing is like recently we went go karting for a buddy's birthday, and it was all the same people, and we were all just crashing into each other the entire time. I don't know if you saw that video or not.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it
It
was
seemed
pretty
like a lot
rough.
of fun.
It was a lot of fun, but very painful. Um, so Raza actually hit a tire so hard on the opposite side of the track, like the dirt side of the track, to the point it like bounced off and came on the track and hit my other friend's cart.
Wow. Holy
It
crap.
was rough. Um, But yeah, so I was like, if anything like that happens, if I'm the target for you guys again, because I'm Rosa's target essentially. So, uh, yeah, I was like, I would throw hands. I don't know what else I'll do.
Yeah, and over there at Dallas Karting Complex, especially with, like, strangers, like, man, with go-karting, people have no chill, like, they see it as, like, their perfect opportunity to blend Mario Kart into the real life, where Mario Kart, you're bumping into each other and you're pushing each other off track, and karting is the perfect opportunity for you to bring that into real life, and
Mhm.
oh, actually, speaking of Dallas Karting Complex, what do you think of the new track? Is this your
Uh,
first time out there?
no, it's my second time out there. The first
Oh,
time
okay.
I was out there, they laid this new tarmac on there, and didn't cure right, or it was the wrong kind of tarmac, so it's very, very slippery. It's not very porous at all, right?
Ah,
The first time I was out there, I thought it was just, "Oh, okay, it's new tarmac, so it's gonna be really slippery." I don't know. That's
mhm,
what I was just chalking it up to. The second time I went out there, I thought it would be grippier, but no, it's still very bad. And
mm.
yeah, you just keeps understeering everywhere, or you just spin out everywhere.
That sucks.
Yeah,
But tarmac aside or surface grip aside, what about the layout? Is the layout any better? Or is it, like, the
it's
same
hard to
thing but longer?
tell. No, it's actually shorter.
Really? I thought they
Yeah.
made it, longer.
If you join the 2 north and south tracks, then it's longer.
Oh, man, they're doing it like Thunderhill style where there's 2 different tracks or,
It's 2
you
different
found multiple?
tracks. I think the south track is for, members only, and the north track is for open to public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So the south track has better tarmac and is very grippy tarmac. The north track has this shitty tarmac that they have opened to the public.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, it'd be cool to one day be able to go out and do the whole thing. Oh, and I
Yeah.
just looked up on Google Maps. Google Maps is still showing the old track.
Mm.
So, I'm kinda surprised that they haven't updated their satellite image in a while. Yeah, so this is still the old layout? Yeah, that's the old layout. Yeah, I very distinctly remember doing this route.
Yeah, that's the old layout.
The new layout probably goes, like, over here to this end of the park,
Mhm, that's right.
or the the north end of the park. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, so for any podcast listeners that are audio only, yeah, right now, I'm also recording on OBS, so I can put this out on YouTube as a digital format, and Fez and I can actually see each other, so we got cameras. So, Fez, just remember, like, if you're showing anything, describe it as well as you can in audio. I have a really I have to I'm gonna struggle to remember to do that, and I
Yeah.
hate it whenever podcasts, go and start talking about something like, "You see it over here?" I'm like, "No, I'm driving my car, I can't see anything."
Yeah.
And so it's, important to describe it, but cool.
That makes sense. But yeah, other than that, it's gonna be the same people, so it'll be pretty fun, I would think. They split me off into my own group, unfortunately. So everyone else is in Group B. I'm in Group A.
They have groups now at karting?
No, at ECR.
Oh, okay. To what you're doing this upcoming weekend. So who are you going what organization are you doing
Apex.
this HPD with? Sweet.
Apex HPDE. Yeah, it's just an HPD event, testing out some new coilovers and suspension stuff in the car. I just was struggling a lot this past week to install the coilovers. There were some quality concerns on the not gonna like sugarcoat it, even though they're my partners. Like it is what it is, right? But
Yeah. I mean, it's stuff
um,
that hopefully you can, spot, and I'm assuming you're telling them, letting them know, so that way, hopefully, they can, improve their manufacturing process and put out better
yeah,
batches.
yeah, exactly. So that was the whole purpose. Like I think to me, a partner isn't just oh you get a discount and then you promote us. No, it's like back and forth feedback too. That's kind of how
Yep.
I take it, right? So there's a bunch of issues on the coilovers in terms of
Dang.
fitment, and it
Oh, man, that
sucked
sucks.
because I was like, "This is not a cheap coilover, right?" People that are like normal customers are going to be buying it are not going to complain a lot and are going to ask a lot of questions to me directly because I'll be selling them too. So a lot of
Hmm,
feedback went back to Inertial Labs, then it went back to Nitron, and even the Nitron's owner is now involved, apparently. And because
hmm.
I think the Nitron's owner owns a GR86 as well, so he's like very curious about what I'm going through. But all of those have been noted. All the issues have been noted and have been fixed for future manufacturing.
Sweet, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be very curious to see or to hear how that, goes. will you be getting an updated set, or is it just like your feedback to them and they're gonna fix it and then send you an email telling you when it's fixed, but not actually send you an updated product?
The thing is I already modified the coilovers to make them work.
Oh,
So there's
okay.
no point of them giving me a new coilover, you
Yeah.
know?
I get that. It
Like,
makes sense now.
for example, for the rear shock, it goes into the control arm. It's a multi-link system, and
Mhm.
the joint where it's that goes into the control arm, it's wider than the control arm itself by, like, a mil or 2. And I was just in there struggling. I was like, "Maybe I'm just, like, a terrible person and I don't know how to work on cars," right? 'Cause for literally an hour just trying to make it fit, and I was like, "No," and then I measured it. I took it out. I was like and I measured it, and I was like, "Okay, no, this is I'm not stupid. This is actually bad." So I, like, sanded it down and got it into the coilover, and they have these little pills that go into the knuckle side of the coilover that needed to be enlarged as well because it didn't match the bolt. It was off by another mil or 2 millimeters.
Oh.
Um, and then the brake line bolt, it's supposed to be M M8, I think, but it was M10.
Mhm.
No,
Oh, interesting.
it was supposed to be M6, but it was actually M8 or something like that. So they welded it in a wrong nut on top of it. So that was kind
Dang.
of
Okay.
annoying. And then Inertial Labs actually reached out to other dealers and other installers out there to see if they were running into the same issues. And turns out they're all running into similar issues, just nobody reported back.
It is okay, I actually found I experienced something similar over at work earlier this week
Mhm,
where there was content or an actual, like, presentation deck that got sent out, and it's supposed to be a training deck for a new
mhm,
application that we're utilizing at work for doing our process trending,
uh-huh,
and we're all very appreciative of it, and then it was, like, 2 days later until I actually, like, opened up the presentation deck, and I was like, "Okay, let me actually go through this and, figure I need to look at this one slide so I can remember how to, do this update." And when I got to the presentation, I got to the slide and I was like, "Hold on, like, the pictures are not loading." And even before that, I should realize the picture links would be broken because it popped up with a little error saying like, "Hey, you need to repair your presentation." I just like everybody else, just clicked OK and moved on.
mhm.
Well, I was the first to report back to the actual sender of the issue, but then I was, like, thinking back about it, and I was like, "Man, there's a lot of people, including me, but there were a lot of people that should have seen and opened this deck and would have realized immediately that photos were missing. How was I the first one to tell them about it 2 days later?" But
That just means they're not actually going through it.
yeah, exactly. Or they're not actually going through it or they don't care enough to, report back
Yeah,
or, look it deeper into it, but alright. Well, now
yeah,
I successfully brought work into the podcast. That wasn't my
it's all
goal.
good. Yeah,
But glad you got the coilovers on, alignment done, specs where you at 'em where you want them.
it's done-ish. One of the studs that bolts the coilover to the body of the car is potentially stripped.
No. Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I guess the shop that I was at to get my coilovers aligned, they went to go torque it and it just kept spinning.
Is this like one of the top bolts on the strut where it
Did I
goes
lose
up?
you?
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
You just
you got cut out there. I think I lost no, no, no. I lost internet for a little bit.
okay, yeah, you, froze up for a little bit, but you're back now.
Yeah, what were you
Is it
saying?
like one of the strut bolts on the top, like where the coilover goes in and then, meets with the body and you have to no, that'd be the coilover bolt. I wouldn't
Yeah.
is it the coilover bolt or is it a bolt on your or is it a bolt or a stud on your car?
No, 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 it's the stud that's on the coilover top hat
Perfect. It goes through
through the body.
yeah, through the body and you bolt it down from the
Yeah.
top. That sucks. But
Yeah, so,
that's that's not a body problem, or you can get it fixed with a new coilover.
uh, what I was so the nitrons, they actually have a little shim underneath, and that's what the studs are bolted tack welded onto. It's a little thin piece of sheet metal, which is actually allows you to just caster. So all I gotta do is
Oh.
replace that thin sheet metal, and it should be good.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So you're going, Roz is going, right?
Ruz is going. Daryl is another guy from Ruz's shop. He's bringing their Zoom Performance Miata out there. Um, then
And
that
then
Miata
Kennay with the S2000.
that Miata's gonna be
Oh,
really quick though, because it has 277 wheel horsepower and like some 280 foot-pounds of torque or whatever. It's a boosted BP4W and on slicks, I think.
hmm. What's
Yeah,
the weather like?
and it's
Or what's
2,000
the
horse.
weather looking like? Jeez, that thing's gonna be a little rocket ship.
Yeah,
What class
so
are they in?
it's just a HPD event, so there's no class.
But what run group?
They're in Group B,
So is that like novice or intermediate?
still advanced.
Oh, okay. So the run groups don't indicate the different passing rules. They're literally just different times you're on track, but same rules apply to
I
both.
think the advanced group was just so large that they split it up into 2 groups.
Hmm. Okay.
Intermediate was smaller, and then novice was smaller as well. Or I think because it's intermediate and novice, they just put a bunch of them on the same at the same time because I think you're going through like a lead and follow session anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Cool. Okay. Well, that sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah. And then it's
Do you have any?
Kenny's. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No. Go. What were you gonna say about Kenny?
I was gonna say it's his first time on the racetrack as well. He's been riding a lot with us at all these
Yeah.
Gridlife festival events, but it's finally time for him to drive his own car.
Yeah. Trying to think back when I think his first time out on track was with me at ECR, just being passenger. Obviously not driving, but he was passenger with me.
When we
It
went
wasn't until
to the March event, right, in with Chin Track Days.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was not until after we got out,
That's
after
not
we got
true.
off track.
That's not
That's
true.
what he told me. That was his first time out on track.
He went on track. Didn't he go on track during the Midwest Festival in 2021 in my FRS? Pretty sure I gave him a ride in that.
He gave me a ride along. I do not I honestly don't recall giving him a ride along in the RS.
I thought I gave him a ride in the FRS.
It'd be really cool. I could do right now, just like cold call people and invite them onto the podcast and ask them real quick.
Do it. Is it on speaker?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up?
I can hear him.
Hello?
Okay. Hey, Kenny. Hey, quick question. When was
Hi.
your
Yes.
first time out on track as a
First,
passenger?
wait, as a passenger?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Was it with me at ECR last year, or were you out on track at Gingerman Midwest?
I was out at Midwest when we brought the fit out. No, not the fit. The fit was for no, the fit was for Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go out on track
Yeah.
with me, or did you go out on track with Fez, or both?
I think both.
My bad. I honestly don't recall having you in the car. I could have sworn you
Yeah.
told me ECR was your first time.
Whichever one was, I don't remember when Chicago was. I think that was my first time like officially on track.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. So not ECR.
Yeah. Because I didn't have the GX then.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. Because I took the fit. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, best of luck this upcoming weekend when you actually get to drive on track.
Oh, thanks, man.
No problem.
Was that all you were calling for?
Yeah, that's it.
We're on the podcast. Let him know. It's for the
Okay,
podcast.
cool.
We're
Yeah,
recording on the
tell me.
podcast right now. I have no idea how this audio is going to turn out, but
Great.
Pretty good.
I was like, ECR was the first time, and then Fez like, no, it was Midwest. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to call him.
Yeah, it was Midwest. Okay, that's fine.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.
But yeah, so
Sweet.
it's his first time actually driving on the racetrack, so that'll be pretty cool for him. And then yeah, just me testing out my nitrons.
Sounds like it's going to be a fun weekend.
Yeah, hoping for it.
Sounds good. What am I doing this weekend? Oh, I need to be careful what I say. I cannot tell you what I'm doing Saturday night, and I'll explain why next week. But Friday we have friends coming over from Dallas, so it's like family friend. Well, it's my mom's family friend, and she has a daughter, and her daughter is about like my age, and so her and her boyfriend have a wedding down in New Braunfels. So they are going to be spending the night with us Friday night. So we'll get dinner with them. Or Saturday morning we'll get brunch. Then they'll head down to New Braunfels for their wedding that they're attending. And then Carol and I have some Saturday night plans that I will tell you about next week. And the only reason I'm putting it like that is because There's a listener that I don't want them to hear what's going on Saturday night because it's a surprise for them. No one you know. You really don't know this guy.
Cool. I'm curious,
So
but tell me after, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, I'll tell you after.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, I'm actually planning on putting the car up in the air and starting to work on it. I need to install the roll bar sill. I
Nice.
need to get the seats installed. Still waiting for my fuel pump and injectors. They still have not arrived. It's been almost 3 months. And I knew it had a 10 to 12 week lead time.
Mhm.
It just I talked to Brian and my injectors and my fuel pump came out or the order got placed in like a batch right after they had just made a batch of them. Because
Mm,
he had like 6 customers ahead of me that all got theirs delivered last week.
mhm.
So I should be receiving mine relatively soon.
Cool. Pretty
And
excited for that.
then yeah, just get it going for this upcoming race season.
When's your
It-
first test day?
I'm aiming for Apex MSR Crescent in April. Yeah, should be
That's a little
April.
late.
I think there's another event in March. I'll double check the calendar. If the car's ready for March, then I'll do it then, but I'm really not trying to push myself because I also need the clutch.
Mm.
So, I'm
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna
giving
try to
myself time.
do at least one event a month.
Yeah, I can't afford that. The car budget bucket of the Excel sheet is very red right now. No. Yeah,
Same.
it's bright red, meaning that, like, I've spent too much already, and
Same.
we're still in January.
And same.
So, for the rest
Uh,
of the year, I really need to, like, pick my events very carefully,
uh,
and if there's, like, an autocross event going on and I'm free for the weekend, I'll do that, no question, I
mm,
think, as long as the temperature's not too hot. I especially wanna go if it's raining. That sounds like a lot of fun sliding the car around. Um, yeah, I'll keep my eyes peeled, but I'm definitely gonna do a shakedown event prior to Midwest, so I definitely need to do it, like, no later than April.
you're doing
So
Rev Up
maybe
too, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So Rev Up is May 18th.
Mhm.
So I wanna be able to do an event, either here in the Austin area or up in Dallas or Houston sometime in the month of April. No later than, like no before Carol's birthday, let me put it that way. Carol's birthday is April 19th, so I need to do it before then.
Yeah.
Additionally, I'm going out to Colombia for a week in
Fine.
May.
Okay.
It's gonna be basically like the last week of April and the first week of May.
Gotcha.
So I got to get it done before then. I'm not concerned about it, but
Mm.
I'll keep my eyes out for which event gonna go to, and then
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, my budget went also way over, um, because, my only thing that I was gonna do, I think or kind of the only thing I was talking about with doing this off season was getting Nitron's new coilovers, right?
Yep.
I found spare doors and fenders on Marketplace, so I bought those 2.
What are you gonna do with spare doors?
Got them. It's 20 pounds each side.
Wait, so what all is entailed in gutting? Isn't it not just pulling the panels off?
Panels off, a window, the harness.
So you're gonna just have a windowless car? Like you're no longer gonna be able to close or lock your car? You're just gonna tow your car with open windows from Dallas to Chicago?
No, I'm gonna have to make something to, kinda cover it for that ride.
Dang, that is some kind of dedication you got going on there.
Yeah, it's 40 pounds, dude.
You could lose 40 pounds of body fat.
That's harder to do.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't happen
40
overnight, but
40 pounds is a lot. If I lose 40 pounds, I'll be a stick.
that's fair. But think about it. If you lose 40 pounds in door weight and now you also lose 40 pounds in human weight,
Yeah, that's exactly.
that'd be a big difference.
That's good. See, I'm still trying to lose the 40 pounds.
You know what we
That'll
should do?
happen eventually, but at
Actually,
least I can do the doors.
you know what would be a really good goal to have?
Mm,
Um, for every pound you save on your car, you have to match that weight savings on your
that's not
body.
happening. I would
Why?
I would look like I belong from a country that has famine.
£40, yeah. £40, you'd
I've
be looking
taken
like
out
Carol.
I've taken out 200 pounds so far out of the car. If I take 200 pounds out of my body, I'd be dead.
You took 200 pounds out this year? Like,
Not
this off
not
season?
no, 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 not this year, just in general, overall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Moving forward, you have to match it pound for pound.
So I got 40 pounds out of the doors, maybe another 20 pounds from the AC. That's 60 pounds right there.
At six, if you did that kind of a weight savings, would you be below 200? I assume so. You're definitely not more than 260.
Damn, dude, your perception of weight is you just called me fat in like 5 different ways. No, I'm at 200 right
Calling you
now.
thick. Holy shit! If you lost 60 pounds,
Yeah,
you'd be lighter than me.
I
'Cause I
know.
weigh
That's what I'm
150.
saying. If I
Oh,
lost
maybe
40
maybe a
pounds, I'd
big.
be small as you.
Yeah, that's
Smaller
true.
than you still.
Yeah, you would be. Holy crap. Well, okay.
Damn,
Maybe
you think I
okay.
weigh 260 pounds? I'm kind of
Okay.
offended, dude.
Not. No, I don't. Yeah, my scale is way off. If I had to guess,
Mhm.
I would have said 220.
No, I'm at like 203, 202.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, honestly, my perception of weight is way off. For like, if I look at someone and try to guess their weight, I'm always guessing 20 to 50 pounds over.
Mm.
So, any case,
You want to
yeah,
do the opposite. You want to guess 20 to 30 pounds under and make the
I
person
only
feel
do that
bad.
with Carol.
Smart.
To me, Carol weighs 50 pounds, not 150.
I thought she was 49, but all right. If I
uh,
if I like whistled at Carol, she would fly away.
gotta be
Sorry.
careful when you close the door around her. If you close the door too hard, she flies off.
Ariel's her anchor.
Errol needs to go on a weight diet plan. Actually, she is
Again?
now up. Yeah, she's crept over 13 again. We were trying to get her down to 12. Now she's over 13. Honestly, it's all the snacks that her mom gives her.
Mm,
Because whenever the walking and this cold weather that we've been having down here in Texas,
mhm,
we just don't walk her. It's too cold for us, too cold for her. And this week has been way too wet, raining outside.
mhm.
So we just have not been taking her out.
Gotcha.
So let's move on to the topic
Okay.
that we want to kind of get to. Um, it's a kind of a loose topic, but I want to kind of discuss
Mhm.
the plans that Gridlife kind of has for moving forward, which
So
this also
let's set the stage first.
I thought
So
I was doing that. You
oh,
set the stage then.
I thought you were
Okay,
gonna
go.
just go into the Twitch live stream.
Nah, bitch, you set the stage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad. My bad.
All I was gonna say is that they recently did a Twitch and they were answering several questions that drivers had been asking repeatedly on their Discord or on social media. And so drivers were able to submit questions proactively, and on the Twitch stream that lasted about an hour on Monday, the Grid Life staff were able to respond to it. So it was cool to watch in, listen in, and hear what they had to say. And one of the big takeaways that I got that I was like, ooh, that would be very interesting is the idea of I'm going to butcher the marketing term they use, but it's like a podium club. I'll call it
So
podium
that's
club.
what I was gonna set the stage for.
Okay, set the stage further. I've
Okay.
laid out the red
So
carpet.
basically, what happened was Gridlife's tickets were released. A
Uh,
couple weeks ago, right?
yeah, beginning of
And
January.
beginning of January, gold pass was released for pre-sale, and a lot of those tickets got sold out within like 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes. You
No, it
weren't
was faster than 2 minutes. I was like watching it like 30 seconds in. Drivers were reporting that Midwest, Mid Ohio were sold out, and then later was Lime Rock, I think.
basically whoever had the fastest internet got the tickets.
Fastest internet. F5 had practiced before signing up for college
Mhm.
classes or practiced before for a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah,
Any number
all
one of those F5 exercises,
yeah.
and they had a good internet connection. Basically, hopefully, got a ticket.
Mhm. And then when they opened up to the rest of the public, it's got sold out even faster,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? So then they also didn't really put out all most of the tickets in the gold pass like they normally do. So previously, like for example, like Midwest Festival being the biggest event of the year, it was sold out in the gold pass period, right? So
Yep.
they left a lot of tickets actually for the open non gold pass people that didn't want to buy 4 tickets or 3 tickets or whatever
Hmm.
it was this year. they wanted to buy just individual tickets, they could. So then they opened up the rest of the events like week by week or something like that, and Midwest Fest was still sold out super fast to the point where a lot of the top contenders couldn't even get into it.
Yeah. So I know Dewey, street mod champion from last year,
Mhm.
didn't get confirmed or didn't get a ticket.
Yeah.
I don't know about Josh Halka, but in any case, yeah, several podium champion winners or season champion winners could not acquire a ticket when they were given 3 different opportunities.
Mhm.
And that's really speaking to the popularity of Gridlife and how interested a lot of people are.
Mhm.
So part
So
of it's
that
our fault because we keep talking about Gridlife and people get interested from all over the country. But go on.
it's clout, right? Like, that's the whole thing. Everyone wants to go to Grid Life because of the whole live stream, especially Midwest Festival where all these, like, big names are out there,
Yeah.
from
Uh,
pro drifters to
there's
YouTubers and whatnot.
There's that, and Adam Jabay, he was funny. He kept talking about his, fake TV show
Mhm.
because it's,
I did
to
one.
him, is a he was just describing it as a fake TV show that's on the internet.
Mhm.
Nonetheless, but what I will say is there is interest beyond just that. Like,
Mhm.
the stream is only for festival events. Mid-Ohio sold out very quickly or almost immediately, just as Midwest,
Mhm.
and that is currently confirmed to not be a stream event. It may. There's been rumors it might be streamed still, even though it was a club weekend.
Mhm.
But the club events are also selling very well, and maybe that's still because people want to be out there. But I was just a little side note.
Yeah. I mean, Mid Ohio is one of my favorite tracks out there, and I know I'm not the only one.
It's so much fun in Forza. I love it. Kenny
Yeah.
and I were playing on Forza last night, and
Mhm.
I was online just kind of practicing. He hopped online. He has his PC, and he was on controller. So then I got off my setup and got onto the controller because we just started dicking around on Mid Ohio drifting. It actually
Mhm.
got into a lot of fun where we were basically like every 5 laps we'd kill the race and go to a different track. It would just be completely random. Total game, random track. Go for it. We'd get the track would load and we just pick a random car and we just dick around, drive around. The last one we did was Daytona. Holy shit! Trying to like drift Daytona oval, you can't do it. Even in the 700 horsepower Challenger, is that what it is? Charger.
Mhm.
It's pretty difficult, but you should get an Xbox and hop online with us, Fez.
Good.
Because then you can play with Eddie too. He's on Xbox.
Can I not get it on PC?
Is your PC good enough?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, get it on PC, dude. We should play Sunday.
Sure.
Do it.
But anyways,
Etiquette.
so basically, like, a lot of people were complaining about it, and that was probably the hot topic at that Twitch live stream, right? Where how do we
Yeah,
manage that?
right. And so, one of the ideas they're throwing around, again, nothing is confirmed, but one of the ideas that they were discussing, and the reason they discussed this is to get feedback from the drivers, but is the idea of a podium club where effectively, let's say the top 10, if you're in the top 10 of your class for the season, then you can effectively guarantee yourself a access to almost any event in the following year. So we brought up Eddie. Let's say Eddie again, or you, for example, that you were fourth in Club TR for the season. So since you're in the top 10, you could guarantee yourself access to Midwest, Mid Ohio, whatever events are being held in 2025. You would have first dibs on those passes. So kind of rewarding previous champions and making sure that they return. So you have returning champions, and they're able to go and defend their records or their season positions. Um, I have no problem with that, even though I've never been in top 10. I don't have an issue with that. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be good. What do you
I don't
think?
think it should be top 10. I think it should be because Good Life, from business perspective too, they have to invite more people and bring in more competition. So if, like, let's say you were over top 10, which is most people, or if you've never competed with Grid Life, right? It may still makes it very difficult for you to enter. I think it should be well.
Do you
I
think
think it should
top
be like
10's like still
top.
too many people?
There's way too many people. I think it should be like top 5 people per class, top 5 or top 3
Five
people per
sounds
class.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, five would be good.
Mm.
And then like if you're someone who can like consistently get into the podium sprint at festival events, then you're probably going to be relatively consistent at being in the top 5 potentially for the season if you were to go to every single event. So
Mhm.
of course, there's a caveat to that because just because you're in the top 5 or 4 events, if you got 5th every single time, someone else who got 4th every single, there would be the other events because it's only the best 4
Mhm.
of the season, best 4 races that you've done at the season. Then just because you're top 5 for your 4 events does not guarantee to be top 5 for the whole season. But
Mhm.
in any
Yeah,
case,
it's and then what else was I gonna Oh, yeah, so On Grid, for example.
mhm,
On Grid is another, organization in the Northwest, or just West Coast in general, I think. Um, if you get a podium or get 1st place in the season, they actually give you free events for the next year.
that is pretty cool. To
So if
be
Gridlife
fair
wants to do something
though,
like that, that'd be great. I don't think they will, though.
yeah, but like on, I feel like something like that on grid is. I've never personally done any events with them, so I don't know how big they are or how fast the events sell out.
Mhm.
But giving out free events sounds like they're wanting to ensure that people return. Like they just want to have a guaranteed return audience. Your
Mhm.
life doesn't have that problem right now. They're not struggling to keep people coming back. They're not shrinking. They're growing at a pace far faster than what their current systems allow or
Mhm.
can handle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Gridlock should do that either. It just doesn't make business sense. You have to look at it from business side of perspective as well, right? Like it's good for the competitors, but it's not good for Gridlife because
Right.
it's $4,000 per person. If there's like 5 or 6 classes, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was one of the topics they spent quite a bit of time on. They spent like 15 minutes talking about it of the 1 hour stream. The other
Mhm.
thing they were talking about was the tiered licensing system, or not tiered, but like a licensing system where effectively right now, if you want to go to a grid off event, and you want to compete in time attack, then what you need to do is you need to, of course, buy the tickets, and then through the Torque Hub application, you put in your driving history. So you would tell them that like, oh, I've done 25 HPD advanced sessions that include open passing. So and I've done 25 autocross events throughout my experience. But effectively, what you're trying to build is a repertoire for saying that I'm not going to be a complete dumbass. This is not my first time out on track,
Mhm.
and you can kind of gain. And so the Gridlife staff kind of weed through the people who are applying, and if they have questions, then they stated that they have gone out and called people or emailed them to get more information to make sure that they feel comfortable allowing that new driver, to Gridlife out on track in time attack. And so this is something that's been going on in the back end, and that what they're stating is that through Torque Hub, they're going to have a driver profile where now that's up front, and it'll be easier for the staff and for the driver to see driver information and have an understanding of where everyone's experience is.
Mhm.
Um, it sounds like current competitors don't have to worry about this. Like, we are not going to have an application process, but new people come 2025 potentially
Mhm.
will have to go through this online, very blatant application process to get in. So
Makes sense. I think that's a good idea because right now they were just basically letting in anyone, which is
if you were really good at composing an email and
Mhm.
the Gridlock staff didn't do any kind of further background checking on, I don't know, verification of what you told them, then you were in.
Yeah, which was not I mean, good for sales, but not good for track,
Yeah,
right?
because Gridlife, I never did a checkout process. Like Chin HPD days,
Mhm.
they require you to have an instructor ride along with you for at
Mhm.
least 2 different driving sessions, and the instructor needs to say, "Yes, he is competent and I trust him." Apply that orange sticker, whatever color sticker they have onto the windshield, and now Nick or Fez are qualified to go out on track by themselves in an open passing environment.
Yeah, it's a little stringent too. I don't know if I how I feel about that one
Yeah,
either, but
that's the that I agree, that's the opposite end of the spectrum. They will force Tom O'Gorman, who is a licensed driver, to go through that rigorous process.
Yeah,
He is,
it's super annoying.
yeah.
But
But
there
in
was
any
a
case,
there was a org that in Dallas actually that did not let me get out our novice, and I was like, dude, I've been doing Good Life for a while. Like I have competitive, I have like records some places here and there, and um, they were like, yeah, we don't care. We have our own these like GTA or Grid Life events. They just let anyone in, like we can't trust you. We don't know you, and I was like, okay, well. They put themselves at a very higher scale, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not competing with you, sorry."
yeah. Yep. So that's something that we can see coming, but nothing that we really have to concern ourselves on. Um, there were some questions. Oh, people were asking about truck driver or having. I'm losing my train of thought. Truck. So like how they had a truck go from Gingerman down to Laguna
Mhm,
for transport. People were curious about like going the opposite direction. If there were any plans for trucks going from West Coast to East Coast.
mhm,
So that's something they're looking into. Oh, Adam Jabe, very interested in setting Laguna up to be like the West Coast late not end of the year, but towards the end of the year festival. So Gingerman would be the event for the festival event for the East Coast and Midwest. And
mhm,
then Laguna would be the track that becomes a staple around the same time of the year, around September is what they're kind of wanting.
mhm.
With a lineup that people want to go to. So it's got potential.
Yeah, and then what about blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
What about Road America? Because Road America is also a new festival, also in the
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah. Um, they didn't really mention very much about Road America. They mentioned that they were excited about going out to
Mhm,
Road America and they're excited about the potential, but they didn't really mention anything about what they want Road America to be for the calendar. That makes sense.
interesting.
So it'll be cool. I'm looking forward to Road America because my mother's actually going to be there.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, my mother will be there. Carol's mom will be there. It'll be their first festival event, and then
Sweet.
potentially some other people from Colombia. So it'll be cool to have them over there. And I'm gonna see if my sister can also join for Midwest. I think she'd have a lot of fun in Midwest,
Yeah,
like the spectator vibes, the shenanigans that go on at night.
I'm trying to bring some
Uh,
of my close friends as well from Chicago. I went to UTD with them, so, they live in
dope.
Chicago now, I want to come to Midwest Festival.
Do it. Furthermore, oh, we got to talk about Airbnbs at some point. We got to plan that out. Uh,
I don't wanna
West
spend money
Coast,
on Airbnbs right now, man. I just spent
dude.
so
You were
much
the
money
one
on
who.
the car.
All right, never mind. We're all camping right next to the hot tub at
No,
Midwest.
no, no, no. We're getting an Airbnb. We're just giving it a month
Ah, I gotcha. Okay,
to for the funds to recover.
gotcha.
Yeah.
West Coast Championship. Actually, I'm gonna put this over here, so that way I should have been doing this the whole time, so that way you could actually read it as well. There we go. West Coast Championship. So they're gonna have a dedicated West Coast Championship. They want to build out the community on the West End, so that'll include events such as Laguna, Thunder Hill, and Willow Springs.
Yes, sir.
Big Willow,
So
Willow Springs.
they're doing what, top 3?
Yeah, top three.
Yeah.
And Thunder Hill was a Thunder. Yeah, Thunder Hill counts for 2025.
For people coming from the West for the overall championship, sorry.
Correct.
It
That part
count
gets.
it counts
It,
for the 2024 championship for the West Coast, but it does not count for the overall champion.
yeah, that part gets confusing to me. Anyways, um, furthermore, do 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 do. Oh, some people were asking questions about HPDE. They wanted to see a more events, or sorry, more HPDE sessions held throughout events, but the grid lights that were basically stressing that like there is a very limited slot when it comes to the festival events, and they have to make sure that they have time for time attack, for GLTC, for drift, and for potentially taxi drift grip session,
Mhm.
among other events. So they hear it and they're trying to figure out if there's a way that they can pull in HPD to Friday and Saturday and not just have it on Sunday.
I thought they did do that. I thought that
Not for all events.
I thought intermediate and advanced were gonna be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and novice was only on Sunday.
That is that true for Midwest? I think that's gonna be
Oh.
true for Laguna and Road America. But I thought Midwest and Lime Rock were so jam packed that they were not gonna be able to do that. But
Mm.
don't quote me on that one. Go back to the Twitch stream and watch what they watch what they watch and hear what they said.
Did you hear me
Uh,
burp?
no, I did not.
Okay, good.
Uh oh, someone from Texas asked if there going to be any more Texas events, and they just kind of said that there's Coda. Oh, they asked what would be the recommended event that you would go to if you're from Texas, and it seemed like they had already done their homework and saw that Audubon was the closest one. And they were saying yeah, I guess CMP is the closest one. I actually think Gingerman might be closer than CMP
No.
by physical. I, I have it in
I
my
think
notes somewhere.
CMP was 14 hours, so is Autobahn. Gingerman is another hour.
All right. Well, if you happen to live in my neck of the woods,
Share your screen. Share your screen.
oh, forgot. I got to share with you. I was sharing it on OBS, but I was not sharing with you.
Yeah.
Okay, go live. Okay.
Rude as hell.
Can you see it now? There we go.
Not yet. Now I can.
Snake. You can see it now?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's see here. Gingerman. Wait, I see it there right there? Okay. CMP 17 and a half hour, Gingerman 18. 1 hour difference.
I don't want to. Oh yeah. What about Autobahn?
Audubon? Audubon 16 and a half.
So Autobahn's closer.
Yep. Audubon's the closest. But for a festival, CMP is the closest.
Yeah, but
Man,
I'd rather drive an extra hour and go to Midwest.
absolutely. If you can get in, get a ticket.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah, I keep
was
asking them almost like a yearly basis now. It's like, "Hey, please come to Texas. Please come to Texas." Like, "Yeah, we're looking into it. We're looking into it, whatever." And I was like, "Okay." And then I knew that they were working with the organization down here as well. I'm not gonna say who, but they didn't.
yeah.
But
I'm not
I was
yeah.
hoping for a Texas event this year.
I was hoping for one too. I was hoping for something halfway between here and Audubon.
NCM needs to come back, dude.
Yeah. NCM is so much fun. I love that track.
It's such a
Okay,
good
what else?
track, and it's also not very far. It's like 12 hours from me, so I can do a weekend trip.
Yeah. And for spectators or who not spectators, but people who are not going out on track, for the non-drivers, actually for the driver, for everybody. The bathroom situation is phenomenal. There's so many stalls, there's so many clean showers, so many sinks. There it is the exact opposite of what PPIR and what Midwest is for the restroom situation.
I like how that's what you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say there's, like, National Corvette Museum Motorsports Park there or not the park, sorry. The actual museum is over there, and there's other things
Shit, you know what I just
visitors
realized?
can do,
I was
but
thinking
you're
of
like, "Nah, the bathroom."
I was thinking of HMP. I was not thinking of NCM. When I was at
Uh,
NCM, what was the restroom situation?
that's why I was so confused. I was like, "What? I guess I don't remember."
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was thinking of HMP. I want HMP back. NCM, I can do without.
No, I want NCM. I think NCM's more fun.
It feels so much more high risk with the walls. I better get ready
I
for
think
Run
I think
America.
HMP is just as risky.
No, I disagree. I think the French straight at HMP is no problem. NCM feels when you get onto the French straight, that could be kind of hairy if you clip the apex wrong.
Oh, yeah, I almost went to the wall there,
Because you're coming out of
and
toilet, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Because you come out of toilet bowl. I forget if there's left right situation, but getting onto the front straight, you go to the right, and if you eat too much of the curbing, then it could throw you wide, and there's the wall right there.
Mhm.
And then one is fine. Two, making the right hander for one is fine. Left for two, that can get a little hairy. And
Turn 1 in
then
HMP is actually pretty sketchy.
I learned to be okay with that because I learned to not make it a corner, and I learned to just go straight.
Turn No, that's you're thinking about turn 0. I'm talking about turn 1 where you cross the drag strip.
Oh, I never had a problem with that. It was
You're not
turn
going fast enough.
2, making the left turn onto turn 2 that would be more hairy, like going potentially going wide and dropping tires.
That too. But turn 1, when you're crossing the drag strip, there's, like, a slight bump in there. So if you hit that bump at a bad angle and your car can't handle it, there's a concrete wall right there on the left side, and a
That is
buddy
true.
a buddy of mine actually went into that wall,
Oh,
and
shit.
he wrapped his Civic around it, and his Civic was totaled, but luckily he was okay.
Nah, that's good. That's good. The other hairy corner, at least for my car, is turn 8, fast 8.
Mm,
So, I feel like that could be kinda hairy for anyone who's front wheel driving, like, whenever you get off throttle, if your car is pitching forward quite a bit,
mhm,
you're just at a high rate of speed, and all the weights on the front tires and the back end, at least on the RS, likes to
mhm.
swing around. You gotta be ready to catch it.
Okay, sorry, we're getting off topic now, but, guess the weight distribution of my car. I weighed my car this past weekend to kinda corner balance it, but guess the front to rear weight distribution of my car.
I was gonna go statistically the safest answer, 50-50.
It's not 50/50 in Farm Factory.
Is it
Actually, I
now?
don't know. No, I took weight out of the back. It would be worse.
Oh. Is it 60-40?
Close, 58/42.
58-42?
It's pretty bad. It's pretty effing bad.
You are really relying heavily on that rear wing.
Oh, yeah. That wing and also the car has, like, weight distribution of a freaking front wheel drive car. It's so bad.
Is that as bad as the Focus? Let me see.
Focus RS weight
Weight
distribution.
distribution. Let's see what Google has to say.
Yeah, it's
60-40. I'm
60/40, yeah.
60-40. You're almost the same weight distribution as my car. That's
That
crazy.
is
Its summary, 3,400 pounds. Yeah, some guy did it 59 and a half compared to 59 and a half, 40.5. So
yeah, the
a lot of weight up in the
GR86's
front.
stock is 53/47.
Damn. I'll be curious to see if I make my weight distribution any worse when I do the roll cage and rear seat delete.
Probably better.
I think I think it's gonna be the same, if not better, because the front seats are getting significantly lighter.
Mhm.
So that means I need to go in a weight savings program and lose 60 pounds. Moving on. People ask about Tesla participation, and yeah, they want to have Teslas in there, but it's very track dependent. Track doesn't allow it, then there's nothing Gridlife can do. Dyna polls for parity checks. Oh, Fiona, the girl with the Pikachu, Fiona.
Mhm. Yeah, Vienna.
So she asked, "Can there be random dyno checks for the mid pack?" Because right now, what they kind of focus on sounds like is that if the car looks real racy, literal quote from Adam, if the car looks real racy and is questionably quick, then they'll do a dyno check, and then majority of cars up the front. I really don't know much about GLTC, and I kind of audibly skipped over this section since it was GLTC related. But
Mhm.
that was one of the questions where she was interested in seeing if there could be like completely random, out of the blue dyno checks for the rest of the field.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's the
the
thing, like,
answer,
nothing is ever random,
no.
unfortunately. Like,
If you
if
look
you look
questionable, then you could, yeah.
yeah, like you said.
So it's all a balancing act. Like there's only so much time in a day. You can't really dyno everybody. You obviously can't dyno everybody, and you can't have someone at the dyno all day long.
Mhm.
So it's a balancing act. But they heard it, so maybe that's something they'll do. Maybe one, I don't know. They'll take it. But that was one of the questions. Street modified rules and underbody. Someone want to know if they're gonna reevaluate the rules about no flat underbodies when Corvettes coming out of the factory are borderline flat bottom, like a Grand Sport. A
Mhm.
Tesla is a dude. The Model 3, my wife's Model 3, it is flat. It is flat, flat, flat underneath there. I was shocked at the lack of angles underneath there. Whereas the Focus, there's quite a few pockets and wrinkles
Mhm.
uh, to catch some air and do some drag. So that'll be interesting if they do anything. I doubt. I mean, nothing that you and I would have to worry about. HPD experience and curriculum. So yeah, more questions about getting HPD drivers, getting more experience, or getting more time for them, or having like an avenue for getting them into Top and Tack. I think they're trying to do like some kind of like Sunday training day. Maybe that's what they're going to be doing at festivals.
Mhm.
Plans for West Coast events. Yeah, they just kind of talked about adding more events, instructors, and HPD instruction. Yep. Okay. Why did ChatGPT? I think ChatGPT it didn't do a good job of summarizing this. Track limits. Oh, this is someone else and myself asked the same question where basically we asked, can there be a clarification on track limits? Right now in the new rules, it is saying that the white line, if you're the white line is the track limit, or if there's curbing, then the curbing is the track limit. But if what Adam said is that if he can see the whole track, curb to curb or white line to white line, then you are clearly not on track. But he is not too concerned about that because for the majority of corners, cutting the track is not really advantageous. But there are some tracks where it can become advantageous. And I think of HMP, like the last corner coming onto the front stretch, you can really push wide and go way over the rumble strips. But they were
Mhm.
not claiming that as 4 off area. So
Yeah, I think it's very track dependent. It's hard to just put a blanket statement out there, but I will say that they need to specify that. So, for example, at Laguna,
yep.
I was hearing the track limits were different from every different person, and when I asked, the organizers, I'm not gonna say who, but, uh, they were like, "Yeah, let me get back to you," and they didn't even know, right? So, I was pushing the track boundaries in the beginning of the session or beginning of the week or weekend,
Hmm.
and then I toned it back because then I was told by someone in GLTC that, like, actually, it's the white line, you have to stay within the white line. And I was like, "Well, okay, I'm just not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna keep it within the white line and slow myself down at the exit of the corners." But because there's significant amount of room, like at least a car length to a car length and a half on the exit of some of the corners at Laguna, which can give you a significant amount of, like, help. Um,
Right.
but, yeah, but
Yeah.
when I
And
saw people in unlimited and track mod and whatnot just completely abusing it.
right.
So, I don't
So
know.
you kind of just have to listen and kind of scope it out, see what people are doing, and if they continue to do it and their times are staying on the spreadsheet and are
Mhm.
counting, then where
It's
they're
it's
going
still
is legal.
It's still too stressful, like, I don't wanna argue about that. Towards let's say it's my last session and I do something like that, and then I got in podium sprint, right? I do something like that, and I get kicked out.
Yeah,
But
that would suck.
I've seen some other cars that are not getting kicked out that I gotta go and argue and, like, deal with all the anxiety. I'd rather just do it normally
Yeah,
or ask before the event starts.
yeah. Um, I think so. Like one of the this photo when I saw it at first, I was like, man, am I like
What is this
how
photo?
close to the this is PPIR. So for those that are just purely listening, it's a photo of my car, and you're looking at the front end of it, and I'm going through the infield section. My driver's side tire is effectively straight onto the white line. There's curbing underneath the car, and then the passenger side tires are on the top end of the curbing. Um, so when I saw this, I was like, shoot, if it's white line to white line, then I am half a tire's width away from being offline or off track. But then according to the rules and according to what Jabez said, this curbing section counts. So I actually have like basically a whole car's width worth of space that I could continue to go cut further in.
See, that's not true because I did that and then I got called out and got memed.
Exactly, and I remember that. So I was like, well, like I don't
There was
think
literally a picture of a plane next to my car as I was jumping over curbs.
because but you were still on the curb.
Well, I guess
So
I was it's
like
not really
it wasn't faster. It was not a faster lap, but like by the way I'm reading the rules, you were on the curbing and the way yeah, you were on the curbing, so like the
was I?
curbing is
I
part of the
think I was in
track.
the air.
Okay, yeah, you
I was
well
literally
if you
jumping.
had enough weight to stay on the ground or had a bigger wing to keep you on the ground, then
Jesus, take the wheel.
as long as it's not Boeing,
Yeah.
just make sure Boeing's not taking the wheel of your car. In any case, yeah. So I was kind of curious about track limits because I think it's still not clear in my
Mm.
mind.
Yeah, I think it needs to be defined per track. Every track, every time attack meeting that we have, it needs to be defined what the track limits are.
Yeah, it needs to be that morning. Um, Maybe it'd be even better. It'd be kind of hard. Actually, no. I think it'd be relatively easy for them to get a Google satellite image and just mark down where track limits are going to be watched very closely. Like clearly, it's white line to white line, and then these areas you're allowed to go past the white line, for example. Just
Mm,
mark it on the satellite image and include that in the driver notes for each event.
makes sense.
I think it'll be okay. So, any case, that was one item. Goal pass name tags. Apparently, Kyle spent a lot of time, decent amount of money to go and print a bunch of gold pass name tags last year, and 60% of them did not get picked up.
Mm,
Which I'm kind of like, okay, well, my first event wasn't until Autobahn, like halfway through the season, over halfway through the season, and I was there, and the gold pass name tags were not at that event, and they were not at HMP, and they were not at Laguna either. So when he said 60% were not picked up, I was like, I was down in my mind. I was like, I was down to pick them up. I was ready, and I asked each time, and
yeah.
they were not available. But I
So are
guess
they going to do that again?
they're not sure. No,
Mm,
I take that back. They're gonna do something special. They said we are gonna do something special for Gold Pass. It's gonna be different.
mm,
So more to come.
cool.
Future live stream podcast. Oh, ignore that. That was just bad description from ChatGPT. Volunteering opportunities. If you want to volunteer, hit up the Gridlife staff. Age requirements for volunteering. Yeah, got to be old enough to work. And that's it. That's basically the stream so far. And that's for the audio listener. Why I keep on bringing up ChatGPT is because I told it to summarize the Twitch stream for me.
And you can
Lazy.
too, so you don't have to listen to us.
Yeah, that's true. You can just watch it yourself. It's still live. It's still available.
Yeah.
So that is everything I got. So my takeaway is I'm excited to see what they do for Gold Pass sales next year. And it'll be cool to see what the kind of Tour Cup updates that they go and make. And they're going to be, oh, they also want to have a marketplace for exchanging tickets. So, like with the whole Gold Pass fiasco and tickets
Mm,
selling very quickly, is they want to put up a marketplace. They don't exactly know how that's going to look quite yet, and they're trying out different ideas internally. But they want to have some kind of like marketplace exchange location within TourCub, so it's not just Facebook group chats going back and forth on I got a ticket. What do you want to give me? So it can be more closed in, or so basically also be easier for shoot. My car just blew up. Knock on wood. I need to sell my ticket, give me an opportunity to like put my ticket up on the marketplace, and someone who's on like a wait list maybe has first dibs.
why not just create a buy and sell ticket group on Facebook?
That already exists.
No, but just for tickets, like tickets buy and sell group.
Oh, just for ticket. Well, I that's kind of like what they sound. That's what it sounds like. That's what they want to do, but within TourCub, because TourCub's already the application where the ticket's being held, so they want to have that marketplace within the TourCub
Makes sense. So we
platform.
can easily
Just
transfer over.
self-contained. Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen. That's all I got. What else you got?
I'm just so salty that you're not doing Lime Rock.
Can't afford it. Sounds like you can't afford it either. Sounds like you'd benefit from selling it.
No,
That was a pretty extreme side eye I got there.
no comment. Um, yeah, I'm trying to convince my. Actually, right now, I'm a little worried about doing all the events because I used to work remote, 100% remote, so I could,
Yeah.
or once a month in the office, some type of thing.
Mhm.
So it was easy for me to do all these events. I could just, move to Chicago for a month or two. Now I have to be in the office at least 2 times a week. and the days that you're not in the office, you have to take PTO. If you can't come to the office
Are
on
the
Tuesday,
days? Is it specific days? Like, do they tell you fast? You need to be here Tuesdays and Fridays. Man, that
Tuesdays
would
and
suck.
Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. So that's middle of the week. So just fly
Yeah,
back the same days I do.
that means I need to fly back and forth for every event.
That's literally what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's so expensive.
It is, but okay. So the way I see it for myself is that because I'm not having to rent a trailer for that whole duration of time,
Mhm.
it comes out to at least a plane ticket and a half, roughly. So it's it's not as big of a deal to me because my trailer situation is if I trailered, I would have to pay upwards of $500 to $700
In gas.
and in gas. But I'm just talking strictly the trailer rental itself.
Oh, wouldn't you just rent from Zach or some other people?
That's how much he charged me for 2 months,
Oh,
$500 for because I held on to it from September through October.
mm,
So the summertime would be an even longer duration. That's why I'm like probably north of 500,
mhm.
which is, I mean, that's on par. I mean, U-Haul is $300 for just 5 days, so I got it for 5 weeks for the same price. Or sorry, a little bit more. Any case, that's why I'm not as concerned about the flight cost, but I do recognize that for you, it is an additional expense that you didn't have to worry about last year.
Yeah, that means
Hmm.
I need to either cut an event essentially
Lime Rock.
or something. Yeah, Lime Rock might get cut because of it.
Yeah, just do what I'm doing. Drive up there, fly between rev up the Midwest, fly up between Midwest and Mid Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna drive down from Mid Ohio, and then because I want to do an oil change and just kind of like do a once over the car, and then tow it up to Minnesota, and from Minnesota tow over to Road America, and then drive back. So Road America would be the only event that the expedition is at with with the focus on the trailer.
Sounds like a lot of driving
It would just be 2 road trips. Well,
within a month.
I did that last year. I went to the same city in a month, Chicago. We went from Austin to Chicago, road tripping twice in one
Oh,
month.
yeah, half that. But
Yeah,
anyways, dude, I think that's a good podcast.
pretty solid. So
Stay
never
safe.
sure what I'm going to title this one, but in any case, I'm going to go get some food. I made lasagna and I did not actually eat it, so I'm starving.
Ooh, end the recording and then no one talk.
Okay, so if you're still on board with what we're talking about and listening to this podcast, hit us up in the DMs of the Racing Home Podcast Instagram. Fez is making a really funny face. I'm definitely going to post this on YouTube. So if you're a YouTube podcast listener, hopefully I put it out sometime in the near future. In any case, have fun, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.
Adios.